All right, that's a good spot.
About momentum, and players know it, and you want to try to squeeze out every bit you can when things are going well for you and the game feels relatively easy. Lottie pushed her hybrid to the front right part of the screen, just shy of the green. Has to chip up to the higher portion where the hole's located.
Just like that.
Oh, that sat down a little too quick, too soon.
As golfers, we all overthink everything, don't we?
We sure do. It's a good reminder.
For her 9th birdie of the day. Ash Buhai, who had the first round lead here last year.
Oh, great start. Birdies on 11 and 12. Really, thresholds are thinking about it here.
All right, so here is world number 1, Gino Titicun. Had the lead for a couple of rounds here last year before Lydia.
Off the fairway, off the tee shot, sorry, didn't quite hit her best. Had to chip it out some 60 yards. And then just came up short here with her third. It's a pretty straightforward chip. Up the hill, not a ton of movement.
And should be able to save her par, stay at 4 under. Played last week in the LET event that was down in the Houston area. For Eagle.
Just that first coast down the hill, it's just bobbled on her a little bit.
And back at the 9th, Lottie Wood second.
Kind of a nice angle from this right-hand side. Pitching wedge in hand.
Does trouble off the tee, and, unable to pick up a shot, but bogey.
And that is where you shake your head with this game, that Nelly was almost on the green in 2, walks away with par, and Rose, only good shot she hit was the par-saving putt.
Your putter certainly can help you in saving some poor ball striking moments, but when the putter gets tired after a while.
This about a 10-footer.
Rose finally
with a couple of nice putts.
Yeah, so that just the
by Nelly Korda. And you got to think that internally, as competitive as Lottie is, playing with every great player that she gets paired with, she probably wants to beat them.
It's quite the way to start your career, Kay, being thrown right into A pairings.
Mm-hmm.
That looked like it might have caught him. Okay.
Excellent.
Well, the first shot counts as much as the last shot, but you always remember your most recent shots more strongly.
8 birdies, 3 bogeys for Nelly in a 67. Here's Gino trying to start her week with a birdie. And does. Shinetti, want to say, made a 2 here at the par 4 en route to her 63. And now Lottie, the comebacker, for par and a round of 68.
Morgan, it's easy to sort of think that Lottie is a much more seasoned, mature golfer, but she's still a rookie and still seeing all these courses for the first time. So bravo to her for continuing to play well, even on new venues.
Yeah, I think that's just her maturity level when she plays, Kay. We kind of forget just how great.
LPGA winner from a couple of weeks ago, Miranda Wong. getting her round started.
Looks like from an upslope here, leaning like it's a touch right.
Right at it. How about that?
A quote, wasn't just a lucky stretch of 3 weeks. I mean, what a thing to say for somebody like Lydia Ko, who felt like she needed to validate the gold medal, the Hall of Fame, and then adding another major to her resume at one of the most famed venues in all of sport.
We should all be so lucky. Got a win early this year. Singapore, one of the 24 winners of the 23 events this season. And a couple of others in the group with her.
Putt. She has such beautiful tempo with this longer putter, and it's instilled a huge amount of confidence in that part of her game.
Team champ at Duke to LPGA winner Miranda Wong, and this is to start her tournament with a birdie.
She has certainly won at every level, including on the Epsom Tour, and saw a lot of that en route to her winning the FM Championship.
And you mentioned this with Lottie Wood and some others, but how about Miranda now playing with the likes of Lydia and Minjee? Here's the Dane, Nana Kurtz-Madsen, at the par 3 12th. A couple of early birdies for Nana after the opening bogey. Inexplicably tough summer for Yuka Saso. This for a birdie at the par 5 11th.
Swing. I just got to keep grinding.
A swing that you just think could never get any better, could never go wrong, and Yuka fighting it hard. Here's Charlie.
15-footer straight up the hill. I don't see too much in this. I think the problem they're having on this green is just past this hole, it does go down. So it's really difficult to be aggressive on these putts.
It's going to be a 68 for Charlie after, as we mentioned, playing the LET event down in Texas. Par 5 11th after birdieing her first hole today.
Awkward stance here. Very uphill lie. Caught it a bit high on the face there as the ball was sitting up. Must have been sitting up a touch in the rough.
Lexi Thompson to shoot 70. Yeah, good two-putt.
Trophy on Sunday, but it is an absolute grind and can be, especially for those going through something like what Yuka is used to hoisting the trophy herself.
Se-Young Kim's third at the par 5 11th. Another couple of weeks ago is right there with a chance. Kind of amazing she's only won once.
It is amazing that Gina has only won once when you think about it. But she does keep putting herself in position. I mean, think, of course, about KPMG as well. Very good chance there to win in Frisco.
And it took the greatest finish in major championship history to keep her from another one and her first major title, which remains elusive. Now her fourth at the par 5.
Plenty of green to work with here. Slow up the hill.
So he's on the LPGA Tour and now a major winner. And now Gino for her par and all class. Obviously, Gino, you saw her applauding for Grace in those highlights. But, we sometimes say, you know, you didn't lose it, someone else won it. Grace won that one, didn't she?
Absolutely. I mean, we keep talking about it, but one of the shots that was really instrumental was her two-putt on 17 as well, just to even keep her in it from well over 100 feet. And, you know, if you're Gino, you got to tip your hat, and which, as you said, with all class that she has, she did. But it still stings. You still know that you were close. You're that close.
She was at another Grand Slam event last week. She went to the U.S. Open Tennis Championships, Flushing Meadows, and took some inspiration there. This is for par.
There are quite a few players who've made their way to Flushing Meadows. I did as well, which was so much fun.
Major FOMO, not gonna lie, and major bummer for Gino after opening with a birdie. Gives it right back at the par 5 11th. And now it's been a while, and I can't wait to win again. Still has that drive. Right in the middle. Up at the 12th, the par 3, Yuka for birdie. Her CME standings, it's not relevant in terms of her status. Obviously, she won the U.S. Women's Open, so she's got 5-year exemption, but it just tells you the kind of year she's had.
Well, if there is a bright spot, this club has worked very well for her. She's 6th on tour and GIR putting average.
She hopes her first hole of the day. We're going to take a look at our top tracer technology this hour, Kay, presented by Progressive Insurance.
This shot is not easy because she has a little bit of a downhill lie and hitting up to a slightly elevated green. Sounded pretty solid, just peeling off a little bit to the right.
The way she one-hand finished that maybe cost competitors.
And she is there in 2. So here is Aline Crowder. Take a look, number 99 in the race to the CME Globe. She had lost her card, buried on the prior.
A little left to right break.
This par 5 is proven to be a challenge for Gino Titkun. Made a bogey. Now Minjee working hard for her par. On the other hand, the rookie Miranda Wong is here in 2, so here's her 3rd.
We can see why this played as the second easiest hole last year, but you do need to find the fairway for that to happen. This is a pretty easy, straightforward shot for Miranda. Uphill lie, chipping up to slightly elevated green. A lot of green to work with.
She had all the answers in Boston, Morgan.
She sure did. She showed off her short game, especially that red hot putter. An excellent scrambler as well.
To 12, and off the green to this par 3, Gino Titkun. Mel Reid is caught up with this group.
She did not like her tee shot at all. Finished with just one hand on the club. This is a pretty straightforward chip. Just got this little mound in front of her to contend with. I imagine her to take that out of play. Straight up the hill as well.
She's using quite a lofted club here. Choking way up on it.
Chipping off a sparse lie. Left to right movement. Oh, I like the way she played that, Morgan. Keeping it very low.
Yeah, take away all the variables you possibly can on a lie like that. She played it back on her stance and just kept it along the ground.
Morning wave finishing up. This is the veteran from Thailand, Pornanong Patlam.
It is surprising considering players are having short irons into this hole. It's just tough to get it close. Only have been 4 birdies today. Second hardest hole on the golf course, this 9th.
And now back at the 11th, the par putt for Minjee Lee.
Certainly not what she was looking for on this hole, having a putt of this length for par rather than for birdie. Uphill, a little left to right.
good, solid putter. Can definitely save some squirrely shots. Way to stay steady. She always seems so steady in her demeanor. And just ho-hum par.
Yeah. Well, bottom 5, we've talked about it. Bottom 5 in strokes gained putting last year. Top 5 this year. Some of it's the putter and the comfort that she has with it, but a lot of hard work from Minjee to improve those numbers so dramatically. And now Lydia for her birdie.
Speaking of good putting, I have thought Lydia a great consistent putter through all these years that she's been playing, since a teenager, winning the U.S. Amateur up in Cleveland. But this is actually a new putter in the bag for her. Just the same model, the same everything, except a change in color.
Shocker. Up and down for birdie for Lydia.
Putters, Kay, just in case. You never know if one kind of gets knocked around in travel, or you just want something different.
Well, sometimes you have to put it in the corner for a second.
Long for birdie. Now, how about this?
And
here's Miyu Yamashita won the AIG Women's Open, her third at the 11th.
This putt to me is hard to read. It looked like it might want to go a little left initially, but it's got to pull down to the right overall. Slightly uphill as well.
Very similar grass and style to where she putted so well in Boston. I have to imagine she feels a sense of comfort in that.
It's overwhelming.
Now Minjee.
Now see how she handles this, Grant. Yeah, nice speed. That was a tough one to read, and she had to be cautious with.
One to the 11th, and Grace Kim is trying to go birdie to start her tournament. Okay.
Excellent putting stroke. It's so compact, very efficient.
So Gino at the 13th for birdie.
Uphill 25 feet. It's going to move to her right the whole way.
That'll be her first par. And Grace Kim after birdies on her first 2 holes.
Just want to keep this just right of the flag stick. Oh, she's trying to use the slope here.
Mm-hmm. To perfection. Near perfection.
Well, ends up just right of the flag.
Pretty similar length to what Gino just had. Slightly down. I don't see much in this at all.
She put it really well for a few days there in Boston on Sunday.
And back at the 12th. This is Yamashita.
Almost want Grace to mark that. Could be in the way right there.
Just missed it. How about those two? Already tapped in for her birdie.
I mean, how about those 2 shots? This is the 4th hardest hole on the course. Certainly not looking like it, judging by spot, and nobody really better at that than Lydia Ko.
And Brooke Matthews, who next week will have a home game at Pinnacle at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. Grew up on that golf course, making herself right at home here. And that'll take Brooke to 2 under. All right, here is Miranda Wong at the 13th.
Miranda is looking at kind of a shorter version of what Lydia just had. She's also a bit closer to the front of the green, so a little bit different break. She sure does keep that whole body so solid throughout the stroke, which enables her to be really consistent, Morgan.
She just has wonderful speed as well, which the more consistent you can be with speed, the more you can impart the same inertia on the ball. The easier it is to read. That's why almost every putt she hits looks like it's going to go in.
She led and then rallied to beat Gino Titigan a couple of weeks ago, and here is Gino at the 14th.
It's a really tricky hole location today on this 14th. This morning, we pointed that one out to me. That was one of note to them when they were checking out the course before the afternoon wave.
And now Minjee at 13.
This is such a good look for birdie. Just a teeny bit downhill. This for her first birdie.
Yeah, the
tie mark that she's on, that's actually pushed the grass with her, which is going to make this shot significantly easier. The only problem she's got is potentially holding this green. It's downhill the first 10 yards on this green if she goes at this flag. The greens are starting to firm up now. It's getting hot out here and they're baking a little bit. It's going to be her only issue, but she's got a chance.
She doesn't really have a very steep golf swing, which would make this a bit harder, Mel.
It would. And she's just found that front bunker there. That's not the worst place in the world to be.
That flat golf swing just came into the ball. A little more shallow than she needed.
third member of this group is Jin Young Ko.
There's not many flat lies on this fairway, but Jin Young has found one. She's got 166 to the hole.
There's that downslope that you mentioned, Mel. Took a huge hop there. Hard to see.
Again, though, she might struggle to hold this green. It's come out very low.
The ball below her feet there. The heel of the club grabbed a little bit first and just caught it heavy. Not able to get the height she needed.
All right, this is the third for Ayaka Budaway, who pitched in for par to start her day.
Just choked way up on that one.
Here we go again.
Oh, look at that.
This time for birdie and Ayaka Budaway.
She's got plenty of green to work with.
Green running away. Unusual feature here. Most of the greens are sloped back to front, but that one in the other direction.
And now Gino, she watched Ayaka Budaway pitch in for birdie. She'll have to settle for par.
Yeah, you take a par and run here if you're given a par on the tee.
Back at 13, the third for Grace Kim.
This ball's above her, kind of into the slope a bit.
Yeah, just so quick. Green's running. How about a 12?
Mashta.
She can be aggressive with this, straight up the hill. Perfect leave.
Yeah, and up to number 6 in the Rolex rankings.
Really want to push your weight forward to your front foot when the lie is this severe.
So good. Her tempo and rhythm on awkward shots is exquisite.
Yeah, she just really is able to center or to stabilize her center of gravity. And her balance is impeccable, which allows for that consistent tempo.
Routine, the way she walks, her posture's so good. It's like everything emanates positivity.
She just, I think that really helps her under pressure. Okay, you know, we saw that down the stretch at KPMG, certainly.
Yeah, and she's getting to the point where she's she's been out here, what, 9 years or so, and she's a veteran. She's now seen and done and won from every angle, so there's nothing that surprises her anymore.
Okay, 4 pars and a birdie for Minjee. Scoring average more than a stroke under par in the morning wave. Lily Abu for her par. Good news is she says she's healthy again. Trying to get back.
Air of missing the green left. Putting just about on the opposite side that Minjee just putted from, but this will be a little bit downhill.
That'll be the first drop shot.
Front left. It's going to be difficult to keep this on the green. It says 6-9 for 154.
Fairways here are quite generous, but they are also.
He has said this to me a dozen times in the last year or two. He said, she's so close, it's coming. And when it does, he said he thinks she could win a lot in a hurry if she can just get that first one in 5 years.
She certainly gave herself a chance just a couple weeks ago. This has got to go to her left, I would think.
Be a tap in for par as we go back to 14 and Yamashita.
She's got 142 here again, a little bit below her feet. It's come out really low, a little bit right.
It's been a popular place today, coming up short here on that 14th. Such a small target if you're going at that flagstick.
And back at the 15th, Gino Titakun for birdie.
Would have gotten a very good read here from Se Young's putt, both on the speed and on the break. Definitely didn't fall very much to the left, especially at the end. It held its line.
There's scarcely a statistical category Gino doesn't lead, and she's #1 in putts per green in regulation.
Didn't really pick up on anything there. Exact same putt as what we saw from Se Young Kim.
This is Yamashita, her third at the 14th.
She picked a perfect lie. She hasn't got much green to work with, maybe 4 or 5 yards. Got to pick this one up nice and high. Let it roll out towards the hole.
That was an interesting shot. She had a very long backswing and a short follow-through, almost kind of stabbed down at the ball there.
Grass just behind her golf ball, which is going to make this significantly harder. Let's keep the weight on the left-hand side. Got to chop down on it. Downhill all the way. Got to be careful.
Deft.
We saw Miranda Wong, struggle from a little bit of a different angle, but it's just so quick from there. Very well managed from that lie.
That looked good.
I like the aggressive nature in there.
Par 3 16th, world #1, Gino Titakun, trying to get back on the right side of par.
location all the way on the left over quite a false front here. That's safely in the center of the green.
It was the birthday of the late, great Arnold Palmer, co-founder of the Golf Channel, of course, with Joe Gibbs. Ninth hole of the day, Ash Buhai. Not sure she'll get to 7 under, which she opened with to lead last year after round 1, but it's a good, solid opening 9 holes for Ash. Is the par putt for Miranda Wong, who was, as you saw earlier, way left of the fairway.
So 2 holes in a row, scrambling for par. This putt, just about a 20-footer with left to right break. She may put a little gold star next to the par should she hold this on this hole.
Oh, yeah, a star in the making.
That was unlikely and well-deserved.
Gosh, just her confidence.
And then when she really had to get it done, she did it. And now Minjee.
Minjee has just another golden opportunity for a birdie. This one should peel down to the right just a little bit towards the penalty area. See if she can get this with the right speed.
That looked like a good roll. We had a good angle of that. Just didn't fall right as she was expecting. That was exactly where she was trying to start that.
Bear down and grind to not 3-putt. We've already seen her 3-putt once. Missing a short, what, 1.5 putt.
Yeah.
It's just how much the length of time sometimes, Kay, we talked earlier about not overthinking things. The length of time she stands over some of these putts, you feel like there's a lot going on in a player's mind.
It becomes a habit that you have to break before it gets too long.
A little quicker that time.
Go.
Yeah.
Yep, nice.
Up to the 16th, and Gino Titakun for birdie.
Really well judged there for speed. Just a long breaking putt.
And we're back at the 15th, and the second for Miyu Yamashita.
She's got 154 to the hole. Really flat lie. This is the start of a really difficult stretch, this 15, 16, 17. You want nothing to do with this flag, which is 5 off the left. Anything right at this is a good shot.
Maybe leaking that way with the ball, but a little bit below her feet there. The last thing you want from that position, tendency would be slight.
Again, you want nothing to do with this pin. Should be looking maybe 5, 6 yards right of this, finishing, and the wind's just picked up slightly off the right-hand side.
That's one of the reasons why it's been so tough to get
over the green.
Yeah, the flagstick is on the left side, but there is some room there, about 12 paces left with the type of shot shape Minjee likes to hit. I'd expect her to take more dead aim, but she's aimed quite a bit to the right here. Similar.
That's a good safe shot. City has pulled out the 4 hybrid, which should be plenty of club. She likes to grip down on her clubs quite a bit.
I kind of feel like there are so many hole locations, especially on this 9 today. They're on the left side that make it hard for Lydia and her shot shape to get it close.
Back to the 15th and Yamashita for birdie.
Pretty flat, and then the second half, as you can see, is just a little bit downhill.
The last couple of groups have come up short there from that angle. And now Wong at the 16th.
Wong teed this up about a club length behind the tee box, just a little bit inside of that. She's also going with 4 hybrid. Oh, she launched that really high.
Oh, is that going to catch that bowl that I mentioned earlier? Funnel back towards the front of the green.
And for birdie at 15.
That was a very good looking
Level, the Women's All-Pro Tour, a couple of times Player of the Year on that minor league circuit, and then the Epson Tour a couple of years, and now as a rookie, an LPGA winner. How about this second here?
She took a drop from the sprinkler head and now has a chip uphill the entire way. And she went to Amador High School, Grant, over in Pleasanton, California, over in the East Bay, about an hour east of San Francisco. And I honestly...
Is winner. Minji for her birdie.
It just shows time and time again how every shot counts. Right to left breaking putt for Minji.
She's almost putting with
She
her
thought-
back to the hole there. Okay.
Yeah, she thought that was also going to be a little faster than it.
Birdie putt lipped out.
Yeah, not much in this.
Okay, so the great start for Grace. 3 straight birdies. No. 3 straight pars. The Goose, as her friends call her. For birdie to get to 2 under. Okay. Had a terrific rookie season last year. Finished inside the top 30 in the race to the CME Globe. And now Lydia at 16.
She would have gotten some good info off of Minji's putt ahead of her. See if she can put it to use.
Definitely gave it a little extra pace after watching Minji's come up short. Always paying attention. At least you should be.
Ronnie have meant to her, and they certainly have been huge mentors and someone that she's looked up to, and she wants to join their club and win a major one day. So lofty goals, but I love her attitude.
This for par. It had to have felt like a major for her to hold off Gino Titakun last week, and Miyu Yamashita up there as well. Angie Lee and Nelly were all there.
Love the confidence that she spoke, what she had even from the very start of the week.
Se-Young Kim, second at 17. I mentioned earlier, it's been the toughest hole part of the day here.
When I was out there earlier, so tucked just over that penalty area.
Se-Young found it, as she so often does. You think about, remember Se-Young, it took her a little while to win her first major, and Minji the same, although now Minji's added 2 more. Now Minji for par. Good clean start from Minji.
Let's see if she can dial that in. Of course, as we saw, long is certainly the miss here if you're in between clubs. I do feel like there's a few holes out here where it's really important to just have a good number, to not... Sometimes you can get those days where you feel like you're just in between clubs the whole time.
Lydia for par.
I have to say this green is very protected and it's feeling quite steamy and warm at the moment. Not feeling that little breeze.
PGA professional Brian Connor Said we had a fake fall, which we set to even par.
Falling just a bit to her left here, towards the water.
Okay, we got Se-Young Kim in there close. Gino from long range drops it in.
Rare birdie on the hardest hole of the course.
We mentioned that Gino is #1 on tour in so many categories. #1 in the Rolex rankings. Look at her, yeah. Good read, Kong, she says. Okay, here's what she's #1 in. Scoring average, better or birdie average, birdie to bogey ratio, par 3, par 4. Not sure what the problem is on the par 5s. We'll ask her. Strokes gained total, putts with green and reg, top 10 finishes, rounds in the 60s. There you go. And #1 in the race to the See Me Globe.
That all kind of adds up to #1 in the world.
Think so?
It looks.
How much harder it has become to win on the LPGA Tour. She said, even from when I first came out in 2018, Jin Young said, I know that Stacy and Suzanne and some of those who were stars when I was first beginning to play the LPGA Tour, they thought of me the way that I now think of the Grace Kims of the world, that they're so talented and ready to win. Here's Grace. Oh, so she birdied her first 3, and she said that may be the 3rd other that has grazed the edge of the cup.
She slipped out on the previous hole. She's had a couple good par saves, but otherwise has been really giving herself some good looks at birdie.
Morgan Matreau, 116th in the race to the See Me Globe. She'll need a lot of these. She had a huge finish a couple of years ago at Pelican to keep her card, who have not been part of that 24 different winners. This one has.
Her demeanor is just fantastic, I must say. Not much emotion, doesn't get the heart rate going, and this is a fantastic look at birdie. Straight up the hill, got to keep the pace on it, and I don't see much movement on this. I think this is inside the hole.
This is the 9th hole of the day for Amy Yang. After wins the last couple of years, she's dropped off a little this season, but that's a good way to end her first 9.
Had an awkward spot there. It looked like she was up against the thicker cut of rough, electing the putter. Bobbled a little bit through the first cut, but settled in the bottom of the cup.
Warm and just ideal scoring conditions. Shaneti Wanaseyam this morning, 63, bogey-free, leading it by 3, and we'll see if anyone can maybe get a share of second or better. Julia Lopez Ramirez of Spain is the best of the afternoon wave, as you see, the rookie. And now the 4th shot from Minjee.
Minjee tried to stretch a gap wedge for her 3rd shot and hit the front of the green and spun back off the green to this point. So now needed to chip in for par.
Hit this green in regulation.
This is a slightly downhill putt for Miranda.
Shaneti Wanaseyam. Yeah, go ahead.
She's gonna manage a pretty easy 4, and I think you'd take that most every day.
I want to say missed the green, but chipped in here. It was quite a day for Shaneti. Holding out at 10 for an eagle 2, and then pitching in for birdie here at 17. Jenny Bay, young American from Atlanta, the rookie, 66. And there's Nelly. And a good solid 67 from Nelly with 8 birdies. Here's the Swede, Frida Schenholt. Takes her to 2 under par.
It's still definitely early in this afternoon wave, but we're just not seeing quite the scoring that we saw from the slightly softer conditions in the morning.
Lydia for birdie.
Putting from hole high right. Yeah, I saw a little right to left break in that, and I think she did too, and it just wasn't there.
Almost looked like it wasn't until after the hole, Kay. But even from this camera angle, it looks like the whole location's almost off the green.
Played well in Canada 3 weeks ago, finished 5th. That was her first top 10 since March. Got that early victory that we talked about at the HSBC Women's World Championship. And here is the aforementioned Ina Yoon, rookie from Korea. And there's one birdie at the first.
This is set up, but I must say there's a bit of grass behind it, so you've got to be very careful if she's going to take this on from 145.
Horrible angle. A sensible play, Mel.
Sensible. That's all she could have done, really, I think, from that lie.
Back at the par 3, 16th, Morgan Matreau for birdie.
We've seen how much this putt breaks right to left.
Oh, that close to 2 in a row. And back at 17, Yamashita. Wow.
Especially with that ball well above her feet.
That one.
That makes it that much harder to judge that distance control so perfectly.
Jasmine Sawanapura, her 9th hole of the day. Okay. We'll get her back to 1 over. She's playing with Yuka Saso. We showed Yuka. And up ahead, Gino with her 2nd.
Just that whole location all the way on the right side. It's not a bad leave there. Be a quick pitch. It might have settled on a bit of a downslope. But as you can tell, quite a bit of green to work with.
And now Se-Young Kim.
Looks like she's drawn a fairly level lie. She certainly goes after those fairway medals. Dead center of the green's the target here.
Had her attention, didn't it?
For grace.
She's feeling pretty good with this club, Mel. She got 8 putts through 7 holes.
Make it 9 through 8. And it keeps the card clean. Now, she'd already had a win on the LPGA Tour by P&G. Temps in the mid-80s. Glad to have you with us. Grant Boone, Morgan Pressel, Kay Cockrell, Mel Reed. This is the 3rd for world number 1, Gino Titicun at the par 5 18th.
Just really quick running away from her. That was excellent control there. Lovely touch.
9th hole of the day for this group. 8th hole for this one. That includes a recent major champ, Miyu Yamashita. This to go 3 under. Well, these last few marquee groups have made 17 look a little easier.
That's why they're in the marquee groups. That's why they're the best players. But that certainly has been the hardest hole on the day. You can see how intimidating that whole location is.
Well, it's not supposed to be this easy. You're seeing all these golf courses for the first time. You're a rookie on the LPGA Tour. You already have the victory in a major. 1st in strokes gained putting. 2nd at the 18th.
Just breaking to her right, picking up speed midway through this putt.
Talking to her caddy, Paul Fusco, yesterday, and he was enjoying taking me back through her 31 under par record score in 2018 in Wisconsin when she shattered the LPGA mark for a low 72-hole score that week. And she beat the scoring record that she shared with Annika Sorenstam of 27 under par, which has been bettered a couple of times since then. Here's Ayaka Budaway, and this is her birdie putt to get it back to even with 9 holes to go.
About 17 being the hardest. You jump to 18. One of the easiest, one you really feel like you need to take advantage of, especially when you're greenside in two.
Out there as she jumped onto the LPGA Tour, and it was a quick start for Se Young. Won a dozen times over her first 5.5 years.
She's just a fiery young player, certainly, as she came out. Just, we talk about players who aren't afraid to go low. It's a lot of players get uncomfortable when you get way under par in a round of golf, but Se Young has a special ability to just keep the pedal down and not mentally start to feel uncomfortable in that position like a lot of players do.
And the wait continues in the group behind. And now, Gino, talk about fast starts. Won her 5th start as a member on the LPGA Tour. She had just turned 19 years old. And I think about this year's rookie class and compare it to that one when you had Gino and Ayaka Fudue and Hinako Shibuno, and you had a couple of them in the top 20 in the Rolex rankings. Same story this year, and neither has disappointed. Up and down for birdie. She gets it back to 1 under. She birdied her first hole, dropped to 1-0 park at the 17th. This for back-to-back birdies.
Already has a couple birdies on her card to this point, offset by 1 bogey. Just the perfect speed.
You saw 96th in the race to the CME Globe. She was 1/10 before.
A little bit of a struggle maybe for the first couple of weeks, just kind of catching a breath. But, you know, you mentioned she played well in Portland and looking to continue that strong play here so far this week.
You know, we're with you a little bit later as you take a look at the leaderboard here. A little bit later tomorrow. So we'll get a chance to see Nelly Korda for a good chunk of her second round. Shanti Wanasehen will be in that afternoon wave as well. We'll see how close anyone can get LPGA Tour on Golf Channel. We'll see you tomorrow from Ohio.